here in sunny Los Angeles. We want to tell you something about the weather here. It's sunny all year long. Look at the sun. Oh, look at the sun. There's so many sun. Yeah, so recently, it's May now, so instead of the sort of Dewey Decimal, sort of, I don't know what you would call it, weak-ass sort of cold nights. Now it's like a sticky cold night, so it's more negotiable. I wonder if like desert cold is so cold because it's so like so like dry, because I feel like cold dry really sucks, because then besides being cold, which is, you know, like chill and shit, right, but it's also like crusty as fuck, and then you're like shit, it's too cold. You know, like, you could say I'm, like, using affect into my voice to make me sound like some surfer dude, which I am because I'm cold, but I'm not doing that because I'm cold. I'm doing that despite the fact that I'm cold. So, yeah. The moisture is sort of, like, hanging to my skin. Tanging. And so I think sort of moisture air is like smoother on the skin and also sort of less cold, I feel. I don't know. Is moisture less cold? Is it like, you know, hot air can burn you more? I don't know. Because carrying heat, transmitting heat, hot versus cold things. Cold water, you know, like, if you get in cold water, you're fucked. Well, that goes against my principle, but, you know, well, being in cold water is more pleasant than being in cold air, so. No. So yeah, this is the weather right now. This is the weather report, and I rate it is summer starting out of 10. This is summer. Oh, when does fucking spring end? Like May, or maybe spring doesn't. I don't fucking know. How do fucking seasons work? Like, people were like, oh, there's a cold one and a hot one, and then there's two other bullshit ones that, you know, like, don't actually exist, and they're kind of mostly part of the hot one, right? That's how seasons work. Seasons don't actually exist. Now I'm going up a hill. Oh, so it is 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and this is me reporting from the Badlands to you guys. I figured I should have an Endless Jest or sort of YouTuber cosplay kayfabe personality, because this is reflective of my personality already, which is sort of kayfabe and very anime. I've been watching Parasite lately. Not the movie. The movie is good too, of course. But the anime. And I'm struck by what I see as like... So I don't like Marvel movies, right? And I don't like them because the characters are like all perfect and shit. But like, when I actually reflect on how sort of characters are displayed, plenty of anime has like these superhero basically characters. You know, like Goku is basically Superman. And I just like them better overall, because I feel like anime better conveys the friendship is magic sort of narrative. You know, like the same sort of witty lines I've heard from the Avengers, I've also heard from other people. But I don't really like those people. I mean, they're like okay, but they're like mids, you know? Like, or at least if they are cool people, you know, I've never tried to bother. Not like on the same sort of wavelength where in the past, as a high schooler, I've been tempted to communicate things with them on deeper levels. There's probably deeper levels to all that stuff, but like, they're like, what's so important about really deep thoughts? To quote, I'm probably being loud, to quote Tori Amos. Pop is good nowadays. Because it's mostly like sort of R&B, but not really R&B. It's sort of like, yeah. I guess this is a video. The weather. This is small talk in a video form. Oh, look, it's a cat. Hey, cat. Hey, kitty. Okay, later. Oh. You might not have seen that, but it was a cat. It was like, okay, on my right. No, I can't really see it. Now I get the key. Now I enter the household. Oh god, fuck. So yeah, and my question is, how do you ameliorate this? You know, the comic lead in Japanese stuff is more made fun of, which makes them funnier, because in Marvel movies it's sort of like, no dip Sherlock, and then it's like joking, and it's like, people just don't like fun, and it's like, I don't know, you just don't have a counterpoint to like the sense of humor. In Avengers it's just so kind of like bland. It's like Thor is sort of like, you know, humble but arrogant at the same time, but also competitive. Tony Stark is like extremely arrogant and like he's smart and shit and like narcissistic, but he also has like a heart of gold. It just doesn't convey the characters very well to me. And just, what is there, like the Black Widow who was a mother but now she's not a mother, can't relate. I don't know, maybe I could possibly relate, kind of don't care. And then I guess they play on this sort of thing where she has sort of more maternal instincts or whatever. Oh god, psychology is fucking retarded. Toward the Hulk, and she's like, cool down, it's sunrise. I don't know. I tried to watch Thor Ragnarok. It wasn't very funny because, I don't know. Like, if you tried to make your movie one way, right, then, you know, it can be a bit bothersome if you just play on one note all the time. If you don't, like, try to be self-aware about the sort of overblown reality of it all. Because the more overblown reality it is, and without sort of, what is it called? Synergetic writing? That's not it at all, but cross contextual, um, cross contextual sort of stuff. Without that, then I don't know. It's just as a person who watched those movies with your kids, and you're like, oh yeah, that this is a movie, then it's fun. But if you like watch all the movies next to each other, then you're sort of like, oh, this is even more self-indulgent than I thought before, which I guess, you know, good for them. But, you know, I don't like it. Why does there even have to be a but by that? You know, what's this whole sort of thing like, oh, the culture has to be towards me, and like, if it's not, then what the fuck is happening? Because I know everything about culture. Oh no. So yeah, that's basically it. Um, I don't know. What do you think? Is there what's a place for sort of our interests? What's the place for selfishness in this sort of massively corporate world? You know, what's the correct amount of selfishness? Whether your selfishness is met, is acquainted with, or whether it's not. You know. So that's the video. No, I gotta find a theme. Seasons, what are they anyway? There you go. Seasons, what are they anyway? What do I not like anyway? Because, you know, it's this whole fluid experience. Everything influences everything else. So seasons, what are they anyway? Seasons, what are they anyway?